What up, guys? Today I want to talk to you guys, or rather answer like a question that's come up a lot by essentially telling you guys about my photographic process. Just some people have asked me in the past, like, what camera body are you using, what lens are you using, like what are you doing to your photos to make it look that way, and I thought I would might as well clean it up or clear it up in all one video. So basically, I use the Canon 6D, basically the cheapest full frame DSLR you can get. Not one of the cheapest full frame DSLRs you can get. I chose it over the 5D Mark III because of its kind of tech capabilities, Wi-Fi enabled, GPS enabled, essentially allowing me to kind of blog on the go, which makes it a lot easier. Because the thing is, I don't consider myself like an art photographer. I consider myself more of just like a blogger, a lifestyle photographer. Like not really someone who pursues it in like the art sense. I mean, I do have a background in like the fine arts, like drawing and painting, and I've done that for many years, and I've stopped that actually, and I do photography now because it's more applicable, it's more easily used, and just extremely useful for kind of social media, internet kind of things, creating content. So I've gotten used to that. But yeah, I did actually no, I never I have done like film photography. Like my dad did it. I know a little bit about it. And all my photography, what I do is just based on intuition, and I borrow a lot from what I've learned from drawing and painting. I borrow a lot of those styles. And so what I essentially do is I primarily use this lens right here, which is the 51.2 um, Canon lens, and I primarily have switched to this one because it's just my go-to. I used to have a bunch of lens, and then I cleared out to 3 prime lens, something that I can use in every aspect, something that's just super fast, so I can always capture in the moment like shots, and also get a nice shallow depth of field, as well as just keep the weight down. And so what I do have now is the 51.2. What I'm filming with right now is the 35 1.4, and for my telephoto uses I have the 135 2.0. And I switch between those three primes lenses because I mean that's all I really need. That's just all I really do. And in all truth, I basically shoot full open almost all the time because at the same time, you don't buy a sports car to freaking drive like 40 miles per hour. You buy a sports car so you can go like just full crazy. And so I don't have a 1.2 lens to fucking shoot at like a 2.0 or 2.8. Though there are definitely times when I make that decision, but for the most part, I just go full ham, go full like 1.2, and just go ignorant at it. And the probably the bigger question you guys have asked is why do my photos look the way they do? Also, why do some of my videos look the way they do? Kind of like the colors muted, the colors kind of messed with a lot. Because essentially what I do is I take the photos digital side, bring them into Lightroom. I use Lightroom exclusively because it's just an amazing program, and I bring it there primarily. All I do is white balance, exposure balance, sharpen it up, and then I use a photo emulator filter. Visco, you guys are familiar with that in the app. What they also do is sell extremely expensive Lightroom presets. And a long time ago, they gave one of the packages out for free, which was a photo emulator for, I believe, Kodak Tri-X and a Kodak Gold. And they are fucking amazing presets. We're not talking about the kid stuff you see on your phone. We're talking about like high-end photo emulator presets, like really nice stuff. Pretty like complicated. And so I have taken those presets, made my own modifications to them to basically optimize between the film and the digital, kind of like the advantages you have between the two, because they're photo emulators and they emulate everything, the exposure, the graininess, like the blurring. They purposely take sharpness, which is always has been an issue with digital photography, away to really emulate what you see with these like old school films. Tri-X being extremely well known black and white film, but they are absolutely beautiful, and I made my own personal modifications, and as you can see, I apply them to many of the photos you see. And primarily I use those just for social media purposes, and like for my like art photography, like my classes, I don't use those as much because those are for a different purpose. I spend a lot more time editing those. But I guess that should provide any or answer most of the questions you guys have ever asked about me and like camera and like videography, all that kind of stuff. I also do some like video editing in Lightroom. Like you can't like edit it and develop, but there's a way to get around where you can actually do some basic edits, and it's been convenient. It's been convenient, but yes, I hope that answers the questions. Essentially, what I'm saying is I use the 60, primarily use the 50-1.2 or the 35-1.4 as my lens, depending on the situation. I don't consider myself an art photographer, more of just like a blogger. And I use Lightroom, and I'm able to achieve like the kind of effect you guys have noticed through using like photo emulators, or not photo emulators, film emulators. And yeah, have a good weekend, guys.